Hello, Beau. This is in reply to your question about what it means to be free in America. But before I answer it, I need to share with you a little bit of my history. When I was in my mid-30s to early 40s, about a 5-year span, I was seriously radicalized when I was taken in by a small native village on the north coast of British Columbia, Canada, where they attempted to train me to be a village minister who knew and understood village ways and coastal traditions that would in time be fully ordained in the United Church of Canada. I got seriously radicalized there, Beau. I learned about prejudice and culture and clans and the dark side of Canada. It was quite an eye-opener. It taught me a lot of bright spots too, an appreciation of the old native ways, an appreciation of clan structure and village structure. It taught me a lot of things, but that's going to be the crucible from which my reply to your question comes. So here we go. You often pose questions, Beau, that you hope will cause people or help people to think a little deeper about things that are, or aren't, or could be, or might be, or should be. And I believe that was the purpose of your what does it freedom mean in America? And I think you can't ask the question that way. I do believe what you were referring to as freedom was either libertarianism or pure mayhem. Now, as I said in the introduction, I'm 71, and I forget the big word for that. But it goes with the American mythology of the Free West, where one man with a gun can make all the difference in the world, an independent person working alone, or at best with one or two friends. The native community, village, taught me that freedom requires obligations and duties. Freedom is, to borrow a phrase from another discussion, only one wing of the eagle, and you can't fly on only one wing. To be free is impossible if there is more than just you. I know this for a fact because for a while I was a lighthouse keeper. And the closest I ever came to freedom on the lighthouse was when the senior keeper and his wife went out on leave and it was just my wife and myself on the island. 2 people, 100 acres, nobody around. That leaves you an awful lot of decision making. Real choices, real decisions. But they were made outside of obligation. So it was only an illusion of freedom. You say, and I believe you mean, that freedom, the sun comes out, so I've got to adjust my not quickly adjusting camera. There you go. True freedom is the ability to make honest choices and decisions about your life, and that's true. But I think those choices and decisions must be made within the confines of the society you live in. Otherwise, there's the big word I'm looking for, you have anarchy. Everybody playing by their own rules. Look back into the Jewish sacred scriptures and Christian and Islamic, and you will find a time in Israel, at least mythologically, when it wasn't very good because everybody, and I mean everybody according to the story, was doing their own thing. There were no rules, no regulations. Everybody got to make a decision. Now that is no way to have a society. It won't work. Didn't work for Israel, and because it's there, you've got to know it was put in by some very wise people to let the next generations know that plan doesn't work, folks. Go to plan B. So freedom can, to me, for me, means the freedom to live well within the social structure. And if you don't wish to do that, then you should leave the social structure because you're not going to be happy. Now the problem is, as you pointed out in your thought of the day, that leaving is not always an option. That's true. I won't deny that. Prisoners can't, the poor can't get up and go. Many a 10-year-old child will not be able to get an abortion without traveling hundreds of miles to a different state, and many won't be able to afford it, so that cuts their choices. You're right about making meaningful choices. If you can't do that, you're not free. I agree with you, Beau. But I think, well, no, from my perspective, I know that freedom that is not confined by culture is simply anarchy. And that's a system that simply doesn't work. Mythologies, all of the mythologies that deal with that issue tell us the same story. Without rules and regs, you're not going anywhere. Now, here I'm stepping out of my experience level. But from what I've seen on your channel, tweets and YouTubes, you are friends, associates, maybe too strong a word, friends certainly, with people who have chosen to fight for their ideals in the military, the U.S. military, and who are incredibly good at what they do. And I have no reason to doubt that you do know these people. But I'm going to have to take a guess here. And I'm going to say that these people that you know could not use their freedom to fight for the freedom of others unless they lived within a very tight, strict social structure, a community. This is not something a lone wolf could do. The latest El Kadai, I always say that wrong, bigwig that was taken out, that wasn't done by a lone wolf. Your friends only do what they do so well when they work within community and within rules and within the social structure that they have agreed to. They have chosen that, and that's their freedom. But once they have chosen it, they lose ultimate freedom to live within the confines of the structure. America, to answer your question, what does freedom mean in America? It means anarchy. It means everybody doing their own thing. Somewhere along the line, Americans on the whole have lost the understanding that freedom comes with obligation and duties. And until America, and indeed anywhere, realizes that, it doesn't work well. That's my answer to you, Beau. Freedom in America has become anarchy. Freedom, from my perspective, is working within the confines and the structures of your society. If you don't, and you still live in the area, you're simply a criminal or an anarchist. Doesn't work either way there. Just as you would put it, Beau, a thought. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.